I'm here with our distinguished alumni, Mrs. Peggy Lyman Hayes. Mrs. Hayes, you've had an amazing career in dance. Who or what inspired you to pursue this passion?
My oldest sister, Diane, was first training in ballet, and she told her teacher, "You should see my younger sister. She has the long, pretty legs." Okay. And so I started dancing at her same school because she suggested it to me. And then my ballet teacher, Merle Lawrence from Hyde Park, had a school, and I started training there when I was 10 years old. She gave me a lot of encouragement, and a lot of the teachers since then, including Martha Graham, who was my director, choreographer, inspired me.
Yeah, okay. How did it feel to go from a small town like Marymount to performing at some of the most popular venues such as the Kennedy Center and the London Opera House?
Wow. Well, Marymount's a beautiful community, but you're right, it's a small village. But I went from Marymount High School to New York to study, so I was getting ready, I was getting more familiar with being in a big city. And as a member of the Martha Graham Dance Company, we performed all over the world. In New York City, big theaters, in all of the major capitals of the world. So you sort of get used to it gradually.
Yeah. The London Opera House holds 2,200 people. How did it feel to perform in front of an audience as large as that?
It's exhilarating. Yeah. It's very exciting, especially when the audience is liking what you're doing, loving what you're doing, and giving you the applause and the standing ovations. I mean, the London Metropolitan Opera House, Covent Garden Opera House. We danced in other opera houses in France and in Germany and Italy and Spain and in Sweden and in the Middle East and in Southeast Asia. It's wonderful to be doing all the work that we've done and then to have large audiences appreciate it. Yeah,
I heard in your presentation that you performed in front of the royal family.
I did, in front of the Queen Mother and Princess Anne and Princess Margaret, yes.
Wow, yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was, and we got to meet them afterwards.
Oh, really?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. You performed in a lot of different ballets in a lot of different places. What is it like performing in Europe opposed to America, and how do the performances differ from each other?
It's very interesting. The U.S. audiences are more familiar with Martha Graham's work, so they can be a little bit more spontaneously approving. The Western educated cultures in Europe also like Martha, but it's interesting. Some years, like one decade, they would like us, and then the next 5 years, not so much. But in general, the audiences that have different cultures, especially in Asia and the Middle East, those audiences are very polite. They liked us, but it was a very polite applause. Whereas in Italy, you have an Italian audience, and they're all over the place, bravo, bravo. So it really depended on the culture. But the American audiences are all, they know us, our work more, and so they're very appreciative and spontaneous and loud.
Yeah. If you had to pick you can just cut that out. In all of your career, if you had to pick a favorite place you performed, what would it be?
I think it would be the Metropolitan Opera House in New York City. It's a beautiful theater, big stage, so you could use a lot of energy. And the Metropolitan Opera House in New York.
What was the process of creating your own dance company?
Well, first I had to select dancers. First I had a solo concert, and then I selected 5 other dancers to work with me. And then I had to choreograph. I had to create new works. And that's a long creative process, and you had to rent a studio, and you had to select music and pay some royalties, and then find a theater and rent the theater, and you had to have a stage manager and a lighting designer and costume designer. So you're really a producer. I mean, I was choreographing and I was dancing in this company, but I was also producing my own company. So it's huge. So it took a lot of different skill sets, and luckily, slowly I had been learning all of them through my performing and directing career. So it was tough, but it was very rewarding.
Yeah. What impact did Marymount High School have on you, and what advice would you give to current students who want to pursue their passion?
Well, the effect the high school had on me was I got a great education. I got a really good education, particularly in literature and in the arts. And I had an administration, I think I mentioned this in my lecture this morning, who allowed me to schedule my study hall at the end of the school day so I could leave school early and go to my rehearsals. So they were very understanding of what I needed as a young artist. And so a great education and a sympathetic administration was very, very helpful. And my advice to students is whatever it is that you are intending to do now as a 17 or 18-year-old, it's wonderful if you have that direction now, but be open, because your passions may change, and just be open to keeping kind of a wide range of education for yourselves, and do a major and do a minor, and you be curious about other fields.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you would like to share that we didn't talk about?
Just that I'm really looking forward to the football game tonight. Yeah. I haven't seen a high school football game since I was in Marymount High School. Yeah. So I'm looking for, and we didn't have a homecoming parade. We didn't have any parade when I was here. So I'm really looking forward to tonight. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.